So, welcome to the session and let us resume our book study. We were on page 8. Yes, page 8. We had done the first sutra on page 8. Now we are on let's continue from the second sutra. Do not be overwhelmed by your emotions. A person under the control of his unregulated emotions is a slave to them. You see, at every stage, you have to ask, in this situation, when you look at your behavior, maybe if you do inner reflection practice or even otherwise, at every moment, you can have this awareness right now, who is in control? Is it me, the soul? Or is it my emotions, my lower personality? Is it my lower chakras? Lower chakras meaning, so, for example, the basic chakra, which means you are very, very, what should I say? Very materialistic, or your solar plexus, so very, very emotional, right? So sometimes, sex chakra, because how we take decisions based on sexual attraction, and so on and so forth. So who's in control? The soul has to be in control. Unfortunately, most people, their emotions are in control. So they behave in a manner which other people will say is irrational because they are acting or taking decisions based on emotions. What does it mean, emotions? Based on their likes and dislikes. Oh, I like this person, I dislike this person. Now, working with this person may not be good for me, but I like this person. But really, you should work with the person with whom working will be more beneficial to your soul's journey, even if you don't like that person that much. We live in comfort zones. Many times we are driven by greed or by fear or sometimes by jealousy, envy. So these are common emotions which take control of us, which sort of, rule us. Now, how do we get out of this? So Master has given us this wonderful practice of inner reflection, firm resolution. Awareness and will. Become aware, inner reflection. Through reflection, become aware. Yes, I allowed my emotions to control me at that time. That's why I had an outburst, or I reacted in that manner, or I did not do the right thing. Instead, I did something out of fear, maybe, or greed, or maybe, or envy, or something like that. Yeah. It's a slow process. It's a slow process. But if you are on the Arhatic path and if you are practicing Arhatic yoga, you will find that through the Arhatic yoga practices, this will get accelerated. And I can say this from my own personal experience that you're going from a situation where mostly I am ruled by my emotions to where I am not mostly, or in most cases, I am not ruled by my emotions. It can happen in a reasonably short period of time. How short? Hard to say, but I would say that it's a matter of, you will start seeing the difference in a matter of maybe months, or 1 or 2 months. Full correction may take long time. All right. Okay. Let's move on. Frequent anger brings bad luck. Use your head. Minimize anger. The purpose is not to suppress emotions, but to regulate them. You see, this is the beauty of this book and all the Golden Lotus Sutras books. Master Choa is sharing with us many secrets or secret laws of nature. Like the law of karma, like this, that, and so on. So there are many, many, many secret laws of karma, of nature. Now, here he has shared one of them, that anger is related to bad luck, especially if it is frequent. If you have a habit of becoming angry, then you are more likely to have bad luck. Again, this is something that I would suggest, make a poster, put it at a place where you will see it very often, that being angry, frequent anger brings bad luck. So the point is, You have to use your head, which means that your rational self or the mental body controls the emotional body and not the other way around. For most people, the emotional body controls the mental body. Their thinking is derived from their emotional state. But what we have to do is to reverse. When Master says use your head, he means really think, really think. Yeah. And so minimize the anger. And the idea is not to suppress the emotions. Suppress means that from inside you are seething, but outside you are smiling. Okay, you can start by that, but that is not the point. The point is to regulate them. When you are able to regulate them, even when somebody is being really troublesome, you will have maybe mild irritation, but not more than that. Yeah, we have to get to that state. And I discussed already in the last sutra, you can do inner reflection, that is really helpful, and of course, the erratic practices. Decisions made in anger tend to be severe. You see, so now you can understand why frequent anger brings bad luck. Because, when you are angry very frequently, your anger increases, it becomes more and more severe, and then we act out of that. And when we are acting out of that, we lose a sense of balance, we lose a sense of proportion. Have you heard the saying making mountains out of molehill, तिल का पहाड़ बनाना? तो जब बार बार आपको क्रोध होता है, when you get angry very frequently, the risk is that you start behaving very severely. Now, when you do that, what will be the karmic reaction? So that master has said in the previous sutra, it will bring you bad luck. Yeah. All right. The last one. Sometimes it is natural to be angry, but still one must practice physical and verbal ahimsa, non-violence. So you see, now you have to understand, many times we justify our actions or behavior by saying, oh, but it is natural. Yes, natural, but it doesn't mean that it is correct. It doesn't mean that it is the proper response. It doesn't mean that it is the right response. Yeah. So just by saying, oh, it is natural, we may explain our behavior, but it is not a justification. Now, when Master says ahimsa, what it means is really harmlessness, non-violence or harmlessness. Now, just one thing, it does not mean that we are not strict. It does not mean that we do not take action. It doesn't mean that we do not discipline. If it is required, then action may have to be taken, but not out of anger. So this is actually a very important practical behavioral, guidance by Master Chua. First, calm down and then act. When you act out of anger, there is a great chance of becoming unbalanced. Like a judge in a court, he has to, person is found guilty. Now he has to give punishment. He doesn't do it out of anger. I mean, he should not do it out of anger. How does he do it? He does it with a calm, cool, rational mind. What is appropriate? What is the right punishment, or what is the right action to take? Page 9. When you get angry with someone and you are about to say something nasty, touch your heart and bless the person. Silently say, God's blessings and peace be with me and be with you. So in the previous sutra, we discussed that, you have to first calm down and then make your response, do your reaction. So this is how you calm down. And you may be thinking, I don't know if anybody is thinking like that. You may be thinking, oh, this is, can it really work? Or you may be thinking, is it really practical? From my experience, I am telling you, it is both practical and very, very, very effective. Just do it for a few days until it becomes a habit. When you are getting really angry, irritated, Within, you don't have to say anything to the person, but from inside you smile, you take a deep breath, you bless the person, you say, okay, God's peace be with you, God's blessings be with you, God's blessings and peace be with you. And do it a few times and you will see that you have calmed down. Once you have calmed down, then you will be able to make the right response. Right? So this is how we are able to act rationally, not emotionally. When Master said, use your head. So first calm down, then you are able to use your head. Okay, one page later, we have a new heading, a new section is beginning. Soul. What is the use of getting the entire world if one loses his soul? Matthew 16:26. So this is apparently from the Bible. Now, this is a very interesting quote by Master Choa. You see, in a sense, this is also like a golden guideline to live life. We understand, or we already realize, that the purpose of life is development of the soul. We are born in this world to, through experiences, draw lessons. That is how the soul evolves. Now, when this quotation says getting the entire world, they are talking about material or emotional gains. Making money, gaining, wealth, emotional gains. For example, where you are able to feel proud. In Hindi, in Sanskrit, they have a word called ahamkar. So false pride. You feed your ego. You have power over other people, you look down on other people, and so on. So these are at best small temporary gains. You cannot take all that with you when you leave the body. So this is, we if we try to get the entire world, we tend to lose sight of why are we living, what is the purpose of our lives. There's a very interesting story that I came across. I was doing a course on the Upanishads. So there I came across this interesting story. So there is a wise king, and time has come where he has to appoint a successor. Now he is very clear because he is wise. He knows not necessarily my son or my children are the best people to succeed. So he says, okay, let me find out from my kingdom who may be my best or wisest person. So he says, he throws a challenge. He says, on day so and so, we will have a festival, like a carnival, a mela karenge, and I will be there in altered or in disguise. मैं भेष बदल के वहां आऊंगा और जो मुझे पहचान लेगा वो मेरा सक्सेसर होगा. So whoever will be able to see through my disguise and recognize me, that person will be my successor. So he puts up this challenge. So the day comes. Now he has changed his appearance somewhat, and he is roaming around, and the entire kingdom has come. Thousands of people. But what this king has done is he has created lot of amusements. There are rides and there are plays and people are singing and there is dances and there is this and that and food and excitement and this, that, and so on, all over in that ground. So most people get distracted. They have come here to try and find the king or recognize the king, but they lose sight of that. And what happens? They get distracted by all the amusements. Somebody is watching the dances, somebody is enjoying the food, somebody is enjoying the plays, etc., etc. One person, however, he is very focused. He doesn't get distracted. He just goes around looking at people and trying to recognize his king. And he is finally successful in identifying the king. So he is then named the successor. What is the point? Why am I telling you the story? Because this also happens to us. We have come to the we have been given bodies so that we may gain experiences, and we may, our souls may evolve through those experiences. We may learn lessons. But unfortunately, we get distracted. All this khel tamasha, all the, pleasures of the world, and all the, the turmoil, and the, the play and the drama of the world. We get sucked into that. So we get distracted. We lose sight of why we are actually born. That, I think, is what we can learn from this sutra. Shall we move forward? Yeah, we have time. Page 13. So, sutra number 1, meditate. Lift your consciousness up so that the dirt cannot touch you, the soul. So, here, Master is telling us that, when in the last thing, he said, getting the world, the entire world, that entire world is what here he is talking about as the dirt, the materialism, the, I am the body consciousness, all the actions we do where we are centered in our bodies, maybe physical body, maybe emotional body. So, meditation, Master is telling us, is a way to rise up, all this turmoil, now rise up. That is why the lotus flower is often used as a symbol of spiritual development, because it is in dirty water and it rises out of that. Similarly, we through meditation can rise above, the day-to-day affairs, the, the so-called entire world. Of course, what is rising? It is the consciousness, and our soul is what? It is essentially consciousness. All right, let's move on. Your hand has to get dirty in order to throw mud. You cannot throw mud without dirtying your soul. So here, when Master says throw mud, I think what he's saying is, it is when we indulge in improper, unethical, immoral behavior, like, thoughts, emotions, speech. We speak badly, we think very negatively, our emotions are centered around greed and fear and all that, and actions. So, for example, violence, or even thinking of taking revenge, or, mentally cursing somebody. These are all ways of throwing dirt on others. Now, what Master is saying is, when you are throwing dirt on someone else, keep in mind that you have to get dirty first. It That dirt comes to you and then you throw it to someone else. So you are also getting dirty in the process. Why do you want to do that? Yes, my friends, I hope it makes sense to you. I think we can stop here for today.